a number of different pieces today, but what we want to focus on, Travis, is how do we use SEO to beat your competitors? So Travis, you want to go ahead and bring up your presentation, and Jack, please go ahead and make Travis a presenter. And so there's 4 key areas that we're going to focus on today with SEO. 1, how do I beat the competition? Our movers are always asking us, Travis, like, what can I do to stand out with the competition? 2, how do I keep growing my business? I want to grow the business. I want to keep adding more trucks, more staff. How do I grow that on the backbone of, getting more of those new customers that I want and prospects? 3, how do I generate more leads? Look, I'm out in the field all the time. My guys are heads down working. Where are these leads going to come from? What do I got to do? Give me the X's and O's of how to run the plays to generate those more leads. And finally, how do I stand out online? Everyone can go online these days. They can Google, they can look on the maps, they can look at the Yelps, they can look, how do I stand out from that competition? I know you're going to help us through all of that. And the first question I have, and I think maybe others have, is what is SEO and what does the SEO stand for? So maybe we can just start there.
Well, let's do that real quick. Are you able to see the full words on the screen?
Yep, we got you.
Sweet. So I appreciate you guys having me on today. My goal is to just give you, ladies and gentlemen, just as much value as possible and clarity in a very confusing market. So we'll jump right in. Really, I'm going to just share with you how to use digital real estate, which is going to be the whole point here, which is SEO to beat your competition when in your local market. And you ask the question, what is SEO? And we're going to go right into what SEO is. We're also going to then talk about the core beliefs that we need to believe in for SEO and how to look at SEO as a business owner, and then roll into getting leads, getting visible, and then expanding your business when it comes to Google. So, so what is SEO is a really good one. It's search engine optimization, which a lot of people have heard, and it kind of goes over our head. Excuse me. And so what I want to really do is bring it to a level that we can understand. And what I want to really urge you guys to understand is SEO is really the process in which you build the authority of your business in Google's eyes. That is ultimately what SEO is. It is the process in which you build the authority of your business in Google's eyes organically and not paid. And so we're going to go into what that looks like, but I want you to just keep on remembering it's the process of building your brand authority. I'm gonna hit on this so many times throughout the presentation. It's based off the algorithm and how Google values businesses. We're all Googlers, right? We're all Googlers, and Google wants to have a wonderful experience for their customers. And how they do that is by showing the best businesses to the people searching online. And so in the past, SEO meant just getting online, right? When it first came out, it was like, let's get your website online. Then it moved into like keyword stuffing. It was like, all right, let's put in all the keywords and your business would pop up. That was what SEO looked like. And then it was like, hey, let's get a lot of content in on our website and get it online. And that became the process in building your authority in the eyes of Google. And in 2014, Google launched this Google Business Profile, which introduced a local aspect to the SEO process. And finally, last year, they introduced an experience concept. And it was really, how does someone experience your brand online? And so that's what we're going to be going in through. And when I go through this stuff, and when you're thinking as a business owner, how do I get more visible online? How do I get more leads with Google? You've got to think in this foundation. You've got to think in the experience. How am I giving my customers an experience online? How am I becoming the expertise in the moving industry online? How do I become the authority in the moving business online? And how do I build trustworthiness in the eyes of my customers? And when we say customers, we mean customers and Google at the same time. And so what we're going to do here is we're going to talk about the core beliefs that we need to believe in order for this conversation to have any kind of sense. We need to believe that Google, by the way, James, Jack, if you guys have questions, if you guys interrupt, don't hesitate to.
Yeah, I mean, I think already some of us, Travis, are like feeling a little overwhelmed as a business owner. If I didn't know about experience online, I try to give the best experience when I move stuff from A to B and make sure the stuff arrives. Now you're telling me I got to give a good experience online too. Okay, yeah. Now you got to help me break it down for me and talk to me like I'm 5 because I'm gonna need some help with this. So let's go.
We're gonna break it down here. So the core beliefs that we need to believe in first is that Google is the most powerful platform to grow your visibility. Everyone is on Google. Your customers are on Google. And the second thing is Google is more all-knowing than we'd like to believe. And this is actually a benefit for you as a business owner because you no longer have to do this manipulation all the time to be ranked on Google. You have to just run a really good business. And then you have to believe that 99% of your customers use and make decisions based off Google. If you can set that as the core beliefs and the foundation, then we're gonna have a really good conversation today. And so again, I'm trying to bring this back to, because SEO is so confusing, I want you to look at your business as you sit here as a business owner, look at it as real estate, right? You want to build your real estate profile, right? You want to build, acquire, and leverage it to grow your business. And you guys have real estate online, right? You have your own real estate through your Google Business Profile, through your website, and through your social profiles online. So begin to think about SEO as real estate. And when we talk about the different aspects of SEO, you have to know the buying process in which you're targeting SEO, right? There's people that are researching and not ready to buy. There's people who are researching and in the buying stage, and there's people who are in the post-purchase, right? They're done using your service, right? And you have to understand that, because for you as the business owner, the biggest leverage you have as a business owner is to focus on the last two stages, to focus your marketing and focus your SEO on when someone is ready to purchase a moving company, right? They're moving in the next 30 to 45 days. And you need to know how to leverage when someone has now used your moving company. And we're going to go through that. And so there's 3 G's, I call it 3 G's to stage 2, right? You've got to get found online. And this one is fairly easy, but unfortunately it's a little less manipulatable as a business owner, right? So getting found online, you can do that by getting a website. You can do that by having your Instagram channel. You can do that by having a Facebook. Like, you can have these different real estates and these assets online by opening up and leveraging more than just Google, right? And so if you're not on Google, or if you're not on Facebook or Instagram, this is a really good way to start building your SEO profile and your SEO presence, because it's real estate that you get on that first page.
If I have all those things, Travis, like, what if I have Facebook? What if I have a website? What if I have, is there anything else I need to have?
Those are going to be your main ones. There's always a lot of stuff to do. And so when my goal is to give you the 80-20, the 20% of the things that are going to move the needle 80%. And Facebook, Instagram, and your website and your Google Business Profile are going to be the main ones, right? And those are going to be the main ones. And then the second thing is you need to gain your trust, right? You're getting found online. You've got to gain your trust, and that is going to be through your brand. And this is where we're going to sit at today the most, is how do we leverage your brand and your brand authority online to then get found? Because you can't manipulate the getting found. But what you can do is you can build your brand in the eyes of Google so that Google puts you at the top. And then the final thing to stage 2 is you've gotten found, you've gained the trust, and now you've got to get the leads. So we're going to go through that real quick here. So obviously there's 3 main places to be found on Google. That's your paid advertising, which we won't talk about today. And then the second spot is the map pack. That map pack is when you're searching for like movers near me, moving companies near me, best movers, long distance movers. It's whatever shows in that local map pack right there. And then the other option, the other option is the SERPs, right? And that's going to be below the map. So if you type in moving companies Phoenix, you're going to see these search engine results that don't have anything to do with the Google map side of things. That's what we talk about when we talk about SERPs, okay? And what I want to talk about here is ultimately on the get found stage, you have a lot less control of manipulating the algorithm, which is a little sad news for you as a business owner. But where you have the most control in, and this is where we're going to hang out, is gaining trust with your brand online. And this is where you as a business owner can actually move the needle a lot. You can move the needle a lot by just gaining trust with your brand. So there's a few ways to do that. The first way is to get reviews on Google, right? If we're talking about real estate, there's no sense of owning a crappy building that does nothing for you. Likewise, there's no sense of owning a Google Business Profile if you've got no reviews. And you've got to understand the buying process, right, is very, very important when you get reviews. If you look at the bottom down here where it says Movers Plano in that Google Guaranteed section, there's Wildcat Movers that has 4.9 star reviews, but they have 1,600 reviews. And then you've got LNL Movers, which has a better rating than Wildcat Movers, but they have 4 reviews. And you have to know that there's a big difference in the trustworthiness and the expertise of a brand when there's only 4 reviews for 1,600 reviews.
And are you
And so,
going to tell us tricks on how to like get more of those
yep.
reviews? Okay, great.
Yeah, so I'm gonna let you know a process in which we found our customers have gotten the most reviews, and we'll get into that in just a second. So, now we're freezing here. There we go. So we got to get reviews. You've got to build reviews to your Google business profile. If you want to get on Google, you've got to get reviews to your Google business profile, and we're gonna go into that on how to do that. The other thing is to gain trust with your brand is you've got to have a website that people can trust, right? This is bringing the authority and the experience to the buying process to your brand online. And if you look at these websites all right here, they all are relatively nice looking websites. They all stand out. They're all nice. They all bring a feel of an experience online. And even though these companies range from $200,000 a year to $2 million a year, you would never know between the website. And that's exactly what you're trying to do, is you're trying to create that experience for your customer online. And so you got to create a website that looks good, right? And one of the cool tricks is by doing professional photography. When you do professional photography, two things happen. Number one, you stop using stock photos, right? And Google knows everything. So Google knows what a stock photo is, right? And it devalues your brand's trustworthiness, right? It devalues it. And so if you use stock photos, the best thing you can do for your SEO is go out and get professional photography. When you do this, it builds your trustworthiness in the eyes of Google. They see that you are a real business with real people, with real photos. And the trick is, if you can, go and find a land monument in your area. Go and find like a water tower that's well known, and go get a company profile with your trucks behind this well-known landmark. Because when you take that photo and you put it online, Google's analyzing that photo. And if you're trying to rank for, Movers, Gilbert, Arizona, and there's a Gilbert, Arizona water tower that everyone knows, and now suddenly you are associated with that water tower as a moving company, Google puts those pieces together and helps you rank and helps you get valuable and trustworthy and expertise in your local market by doing that. So again, getting reviews, we're going to go through a process on how to do that. But the other thing as a business owner is to go in and get professional photography. You don't have professional photography, go do it today. It's really easy, and it will exponentially increase your brand authority on Google.
And so with that being said, we got a question coming in. So put you on pause.
Yeah, just a quick housekeeping item. I think some people are seeing the slides being cut off. It should resolve if you look at the top left-hand corner of your window, you should be, if you're on a Mac, you should be able to see like a green button. I'm not 100% sure what it would be for a Windows or a PC, but there should be a similar function. If you click that green expand button, it should resolve the slides being cut off.
What if I just did
GoToWebinar, your full screen is what you're saying, Jack.
Full screen of
I'm watching right now and I'm a moving company, I go full screen on the GoToWebinar. And so,
correct.
Right, got it. Thank you, Jack.
Do you want me to live right here on this shared screen, or you want me to go to the slideshow?
It shouldn't matter. You can go back to the slideshow, Travis.
Go back to the slideshow, and all of our viewers, please just expand your screen fully, and you'll see all of Travis's site. So what I'm hearing you saying, Travis, as you jump back in, is one, I got to give great service. I got to actually build the trust so someone would write a real review. Two, I got to get my website looking good. And if I don't know how to do website, I probably need to get someone who does. And three, if I'm using stock photos, get my beautiful team out there at a wonderful monument, take stock photos out of here and get me solid, strong photos all over my website. So combine those three elements and I'm going to start to elevate my experience and elevate my trust. Am I hearing you correctly?
Correct. You're going to elevate your brand authority in the eyes of Google. That's the game you're trying to play.
Yeah.
Because as a business owner, you're valuable. You're a valuable moving business, right? You know that. You serve your clients well. You do what's right. You go above and beyond. But Google doesn't know that. And so you have to do these aspects to get Google to understand that you're a real valuable business, so Google feels more comfortable showing your business at the top of search results. That's the name of the game. And these are the ways you can do that, through the reviews, the professional photography, through the nice looking website and the experience of the website. Good? Makes sense?
Yeah. Love it.
Cool. And the other thing you can do is then optimizing your Google business profile. And I'm not talking about some special SEO optimization. It's getting reviews, getting photos onto your Google business profile, right? On your Google business profile app, there are a place where you can upload photos. Well, here's the trick on those, right? If you start posting those photos online on your Google business profile, just like Facebook and Instagram, you can post reviews on your Google business profile. Well, those photos have in them geotag data. And if you are trying to rank in, let's say, the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and you're consistently uploading photos from moves that have geotags all around Dallas-Fort Worth, Google is going to understand the relevance of your moving business in that area. And so if you can just get consistent at just posting photos on your Google business profile once or twice a week, that will elevate your brand authority and expertise and relevance in your local area. And so
Travis, I can't get, like a professional photographer every 2 weeks on the job. It's okay for me as an owner to go out there or have one of my team members with their phones and take those pictures and upload them. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, great clarification. There's professional photography, and then what you really need is you actually don't want professional photography. You want the iPhone photos, because the iPhone photos have that geotag data in them, and Google is reading that geotagged information.
Got it.
So you want that. So one of the things we see our customers do is they just incentivize their guys. For every job they're on, they'll give them an extra $5 to $10 to send a good photo. And if the photo gets used, they'll pay them out that $10, right? If it's not a good enough photo, they won't use it. And so you can incentivize your movers to take these really awesome photos of the crew and your customers and send them. And if you use it on your Google business profile, they get paid. So it's a way that you can incentivize them to do the work for you on that. So now we've talked about really getting your website, getting that experience, optimizing your Google business profile. Well, now the third G is now we got to get that lead, right? We got to get that lead into our sales team hands. And so we need to make it easy to communicate with your business, okay? And remember, this is the experience aspect, right? And so there's some ways that you can do this without having to do SEO with a company. There's ways you can go and actually do this. Number one, you can go get a chat and video feature on your website. It creates a wonderful experience for the customer on your website. James, I don't know if you know any chat or video feature companies, but that might be a good plug.
I might know one. Yeah, absolutely. We can help you at LiveSwitch. Keep going.
There you go. So you could go get a chat or video feature. The other thing you can do, and some of you guys are going to bite my head off, and I'm going to still stand strong on this, is to get a simple quote form. We have to remember we are in the sales game, okay? We want an experience for our customer. And so I've seen so many moving company websites that have this long drawn out form of like, how many couches, how many box, how much square feet, how much of this, how much of this, and you're trying to get the customer to do all the work for you, and it doesn't create a good experience. And Google knows that, and your customer experiences that. And so you will be guaranteed to lose sales when you have a long drawn out quote form. Your job is to get the lead and have an experience with them to get the information you need. So create a simple quote form. If you don't have a simple quote form, one of the nicest and fastest things you do to get more leads is create a simple quote form that your customers can fill out. And then finally, this is where it talks about the aspects on you as a business owner. You pick up the phone, okay? And my whole thing on this is, yes, Google knows when they're calling you, because here's what's happening, and we've seen this more and more. This is a Google business profile here on the right-hand side. Look at the Google number that's installed on there. That number is forced by Google onto your profile without you knowing, okay? They're not going to tell you. And so when someone clicks and calls from your Google business profile, it is calling your real number, but it's going through a Google tracking form, right? It's going through a Google tracking number. And so Google knows how many calls you're getting, if you're going to pick up the phone, right? Google knows way more than we want to pretend they know. And so if you're not picking up the phone, if you don't have that experience built in, Google will know this. And so you've got to pick up the phone.
And I can go into my Google business form and make sure they have all the right information, Travis. What if I go and they have the wrong phone number? I go into my profile.
You don't get to choose. You put in the right phone number for your business, and Google's not doing this for everyone, but Google is going to put in a different number without you knowing. You don't get to choose.
Wow.
You're playing the game with Google at $1 billion company. You don't get to play, you don't get that choice. And so this is the key, because Google wants to know that their customers are having a good experience with good businesses. And this is the way they track that, right? So you've got to be just running a good business. And part of that is just picking up the phone, okay? And then finally, you've got to have a fast loading website. Okay, you've got to have a great experience. Nobody wants to wait 8 seconds for your website to load. If you are this company here and you are Hawk Boys Moving LLC, which is the very bottom one, you got 4.6 stars and 94, and you're like, you know what, I'm gonna call that guy. He looks awesome. You know, I'm gonna call them. But you know what? I am gonna call 2 Men in a Truck because I've heard of them before. If your website takes 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 seconds to load, I can guarantee you 2 Men in a Truck does not have a slow loading website, that you are going to be guaranteed to lose sales because of a slow loading website. And so you've got to have a fast loading website to create a good experience. You're creating a good experience to get more sales, to get more leads and get more sales, but that then in turn allows you to get ranked higher on Google. It's really crazy. You run a good business, and you will see better SEO out of the gate, okay? And the third stage here that I want to talk about is the post-service stage. Getting the review on the job, getting photos on the move, and the referrals. And we've kind of already briefed on this. When you get the review on the job, okay, you want to get the review on the job or after with the sales process, okay? Here is the formula, and you guys can screenshot this. Here's the formula we've seen works fairly well to get customers to leave you a review. The first one is on day one, you call and text, right? Or the day one after. You call and text. Hey, Joe, Schmo, did you have a really good experience? That's awesome. Is there anything we do know that's great? Hey, is there any way you could leave us a review? It would go a long way for us. We would absolutely really appreciate it, right? If you don't get them on the call, you do the same thing on a text. And then on day two, you email them. Hey, just wanted to check in, see how it's going. We'd love for you to write a review. You can actually write the review for them. Hey, we kind of wrote a review for you. If it's easy and you agree with it, copy, click on this link and paste it, and it would mean the world to us. And then on day three, you call, email, and text. And on day four, you call, email, and text, but you give an incentive. Hey, in return, I know you're super busy. I know we've been reaching out about this. Is there any way you could do this? If you can, we'd be happy to send you a $10 Starbucks gift card and as a way to say thank you for your time, right? You have to do this just like you would do it for a sales process to get the move. You've got to do this to get reviews, because the power of the reviews, and we'll go through this over here, the power of the reviews is that it gets you ranked on Google and it gets you more referrals and it gets more people to call you. And so the snowball effect that happens.
And Travis, for people who want to implement that 4-step program that you put on there, is it something that they assign to an individual in the company to do? Is it something that they go and get a software program that automatically does it? Like, how are people doing this? Because I think a lot of us think about, like, how do I get the lead to the cash? But we're not thinking about how do I get the cash to the review. This is maybe.
Yes. I think it's a great question. If you don't have the manpower, then you can automate this most likely through your CRM. CRMs have a lot of ways that you can do follow-up emails and texts. That would be one way. The way I would recommend it is legitimately, personally having like an admin in the office do this for you. Because number one, the admin will know and be able to ask questions. Hey, did this move go actually really well? Like, is this person someone I should actually call, right? And so you can have the relayed information go, yeah, actually, it went well, call them. Right? And then if there's anything that goes wrong, it's a personalized touch. And so then you, instead of asking for the review, you can mitigate the problem that the customer had an experience. And so you have 2 wins on both sides of this. And so I would highly recommend bringing an admin in, or a mom who's got 5 hours a day, or 2 hours a day, 5 to 6 hours a week to follow this process. And then on the incentive, Starbucks, you, without even having a login or anything, you could just go have an email and give a $5 to $10 gift card, and it sends to their email. So it's a very
for a lot of us, we're looking at this like, man, I've been looking at the front end, the sales, to get the cash, to incentivize my sales guys. But when it comes to this, we're not giving the same amount of attention and love and detail to know that, hey, now it connects the dots. These reviews drive the sales. So if I'm only going after sales, I'm only doing half the job.
correct. You're not only doing half the job, you are pulling away from next year's salary that you could pay yourself. You're taking away from that because you're not going to get as many reviews, which means less and less people will trust you and call you. When you are online and visible with your competitors, you need to stand out. And when you have a lot of reviews, you stand out. That's why you look at the biggest players in the game. 2 Man Truck, All My Sons. You look at Wildcat Movers. You look at, just name someone who's like, man, that's the moving business I want. They all have a ton of reviews. And oh, by the way, haphazardly, they're also ranking really well. Well, it's not separated. It's together. It's because it's built into this holistic approach.
Got it.
Got it. And then after you get the reviews, get the photos and put it on a Google Business Profile and your social platforms. We've already talked about that secret trick there of getting it, putting it on your Google Business Profile, getting those photos from your crew because it's got that geotag. And oh, by the way, you're using the Google platform for this, and Google likes that. Okay. And then the final one here is getting the review after the job. You want to get referrals. Actively work on asking for referrals, whether it's a mass email, whether you have the admin calling, because what you want to do is you want to incentivize them, the customers, to give referrals, because here's why: it builds your business faster. Okay. It decreases your acquisition costs, right? Because now you've got more people wanting to work with you without you having to pay for it. And if you paid for it, it was with $5 or $10 on the incentivization for a review. And then it grows your organic traffic and click-through and engagement. And so imagine you're sitting here, you're a business owner, right? You've got your Google Business Profile online, and you've got all these people finding you online. Well, now suddenly you've got this increase of people randomly going to Google and searching for your moving company name and clicking on your website and calling you. Google sees that. And so Google will see this increase in traffic and go, man, people are wanting to work with this company. Man, maybe this company needs to go higher on my ranking, right? Maybe it needs to go higher on the list. Maybe it needs to go to the top spots in the map pack. And so this will help your SEO, is when you get referrals, they have to find you online. They will look for you online, and that will grow your organic traffic, which will allow you to rate better.
So Google knows when I'm getting word of mouth referrals because people are searching my business name. Okay. Wow.
Exactly. Do you think Apple spends a bunch of money with a company, an SEO company? Not really. There's some structural things they do, but at the end of the day, it's because everyone knows Apple. Everyone's Googling Apple. And so Apple becomes super valuable in the eyes of Google. Okay. And so the final thing here is it increases we just talked about this. It increases the value in the eyes of Google and helps you rank your digital assets. When you rank your digital assets, you make money. Okay. So here's the thing I need you guys to understand on this part here is SEO is way more holistic than it used to be. Okay. You as a business owner can run a good business and affect SEO. And that's the good news. You run a good business, you get reviews, you answer the phone, it will affect your SEO. Okay. The second thing is your brand authority and your experience of the brand authority and the experience of your brand online is the key to your SEO success. Google is heavily relying on the brand authority and the experience to rank companies. They've come out with that on their articles, that the experience is a huge playing factor. And so when you create a wonderful brand authority and experience online through the ways that we just went over, it will help you in your SEO success. And then the third and final thing is you need to treat your business and your SEO like digital real estate. It is your wealth asset, okay? And so what I want to kind of finalize up with is you know how to get leads, you know how to grow and get found, you've got some of these tactics. Well, how do you expand and grow your business? How do you take your digital real estate and expand and grow it? Grow it outside your city or within your city. And I want to share with you something that the big boys are doing, your competitors, that you're probably not doing, and I want to put this in your brain as a mindset to begin thinking about, okay? Number one, how do you expand and grow your business? You gain more visibility and brand authority. The way you do that, we've already been working on brand authority, so now we focus on visibility, is you can do that through search, right? Below the maps, right? It's a less local component. And it's the creation of pages on your website, right? So if you're in Chicago and you have a landing page that says Movers Chicago, you can also create a landing page that says Movers Miami, and you can rank there. Here is the problem with that. The downside is that's really costly, okay? And it's watering down your brand. You have a couple big pages that people are going to you and seeing you, and then you create all these location pages that don't have any traffic. You bring down the value of your brand in the eyes of Google. And the other downside, and this is where I'm going to preach here to you guys to go think about this in the buying process, you have extreme competition. The biggest players in the industry are going to win. You're going up against multi-billion-dollar companies when you go after that method. When you're not going after the local maps and you're going after the below the maps, you're going against multi-billion-dollar companies. You've got 2 Men in a Truck, who's very valuable in the eyes of Google. You've got Yelp, a multi-billion-dollar company. You've got Thumbtack, a multi-billion-dollar company. Angie's List. Like, you've got these huge companies that when you search for movers companies or moving company Phoenix, look at who comes up. You've got All My Sons, Camelback Moving, Yelp, Allied, and Forbes.com. Those are the guys who are coming up when you search moving companies Phoenix below the maps. That is extreme competition. And a lot of you guys, your SEO strategy is focused on this right here. And you are trying to take down multi-billion-dollar companies and beat them online. And it's a game that is futile. And I want to show this to you. This top one is Yelp right here, 123 million backlinks. The bottom one is Joe Schmo's Moving Company with 851 backlinks. Who is Google going to trust more? Yelp with 123 million backlinks, or this Joe Schmo with 851? Google's going to trust Yelp, okay? And so what you can't do is you can't compete with Yelp. You can't compete against these big, massive, multi-billion-dollar companies. But here's what
I'm going to pause you right there because we got a hot question coming in. Hold that thought. I'll get you back. Jack, what do we got coming in?
No, I just wanted to do a quick time check. So it's 1:04 p.m. Eastern. So just wanted to let you guys both know where we're at.
We got 4 minutes left here. We'll be Gucci.
Cool.
Thanks,
Okay.
Jack.
Yep. So you can't compete against these multi-billion-dollar companies here. You're not going to win against them. But here's what they don't have. They don't have a local profile. Yelp is not in Scottsdale, Arizona. Yelp is not in your local neighborhood where you live. They don't have a Google business profile. So to bring this all together, they can't beat you in the maps. And that levels the playing field. It levels the playing field. And so what the big companies are doing is they're playing this game. If you look at 2 Men in a Truck on this third bullet point, in Phoenix, they have 8 locations. Some of you guys are trying to go after one location and take over all of Phoenix. In the greater Chicago area, 2 Men in a Truck has 17 Google Map locations. And you are then, and that's the game they're trying to play. And so what I basically am trying to get you guys to see is, as you build your brand authority, you then will have the ability to go and multiply your Google business profile locations all across the area, all across your local area. So you're going to be looking at real estate in places where are 5-10 miles away, and you're going to want to open up new locations. You don't have to operate out of them, but you want to go find office space that you can go purchase for $500, $600, $700, $1,000 a month. Get it verified on Google, build reviews, and now you're taking that digital real estate and you're multiplying it across your city, and you level the playing field that Yelp can't compete against you. Forbes can't compete against you. And so that's the biggest thing I want you guys to take away from here is the strategy that the big boys are playing to beat Yelp, to beat the big billion-dollar tech industry is by going local. And we've kind of talked about going local here is where you need to go. You get found online by building your brand trust, you acquire and close the lead, and then you repeat the process for multiple locations in your area. And that is going to be how you're going to beat your competition online, is by repeating this process and gaining more Google Business Profile locations across the valley that you're in. And I think that's pretty much it there. That way we can close up and talk about any questions here.
Thanks, Travis. We appreciate that. So maybe you can stop sharing your screen there. And Jack's going to come on here with some questions from the audience. So we'll start fielding some of those. That was fantastic, Travis. Thank you. Jack, what do we got from the audience?
Yeah, thanks so much, Travis. That was great. And thank you, everybody, for your questions. We will get to as many of them as we can. And if not, we will make sure to answer them via email. Okay, first question. Should I be using YouTube?
Yeah, so this is a great question. I'm going to not come at this as an SEO side of things. I'm going to come at this as a business owner to business owner. You've got to decide where your biggest leverage is that you can play. And if you decide that YouTube is the biggest leverage to move the needle forward in your business, go ahead and use YouTube. I will argue that using YouTube is probably not the biggest leverage for your business. Getting a good high quality sales video that you put on YouTube, sure, but you're going to then put that sales video on your website because it's going to convert more sales. So the answer is there's so many things you can do in SEO. Only a few of them are going to move the needle. And so without knowing the context, I would argue most likely YouTube is going to be a waste of your time as a business owner versus all the other things that you can focus on with leverage as a business owner to grow your business. Maybe that answered the question, but I think so.
Great. Next question. What is your suggestion for a company operating nationwide or internationally?
Nationwide or internationally. So if you're nationwide, you can do the same process. So you think about 2 Men in a Truck. They're a nationwide company. They have one brand domain, one website, 2meninatruck.com or whatever it is, right? In that one brand domain, they have a bunch of different locations, and they have Google business profiles in all these different locations. And so the same process works on a national and international level. Now, you may be a broker, and that's kind of a little bit of a different story, but ultimately, look at what the big boys are doing. All My Sons, 2 Men in a Truck, they all are one brand, one domain, many locations. That's the game they're playing. And they're playing that game because they know it works. And so if you're a national company or you have locations that are spread out across the nation, same process, same process.
Great. Thanks, Travis. And Travis, by the way, we did have a few requests for the slides, by the way. So we'll be able to distribute that after. Is that right? Okay, great. Awesome. Is Google the only search engine I should worry about? Do I need to do anything for Bing or Yahoo?
Yeah, great. That's a super great question. Again, we talk about it as a business owner, where you're spending your money on it and the leverage, right? There's people who can work all day long and not move the needle forward. So when you take that concept as a business owner and bring it into the SEO space, Bing's #1 search is Google. And so, yes, are there people that search and use Bing and Yahoo? Absolutely. But the majority of your customers are going to be on Google. And normally, historically, when you rank on Google, Bing and Yahoo will follow. And so if you focus all your efforts on optimizing for the Google business profile, for your Google assets, for your website, if you optimize for the Google algorithm, you will affect the Bing and the Yahoo and the other algorithms. There are small changes, but at the end of the day, if you focus your time on Bing and Yahoo, I ultimately will say that it's going to be a waste of your time, energy, and your money, because most likely you're paying an SEO company to do that. You're going to waste time and energy and money on that. Focus on Google. Bing and Yahoo will follow. If you start making gobs of money, then you can spend a little extra money to kind of do the intricacies of Bing and Yahoo.
Like the 3 major hits that I got from you today, right, is keep giving amazing service. That's going to help me. Doesn't matter what. Yep. 2, professional photographers, right? That's going to help all of that, right, with those 3 different ones. And finally, just focusing in on getting those reviews via Google. It sounds like the other systems will tune in when they see those.
Right. It's probably 10, and all 10 of them of people who have come to us and be like, hey, help us like grow our brand, who had not lately, they had stock photos online, they didn't have a lot of reviews, and their website wasn't that great. Without doing quote unquote SEO, we got them a good looking website. They went and got photography, and they like tripled the amount of reviews they got over a season of like 3 months. Every single one of them saw an increase in the rankings. And we didn't do all this fancy SEO guru stuff. And so the key is, like you said, James, run a good business, stand out with your brand online through photography, and get a bunch of reviews. And that right there, by running a business and doing good service, will boost your business. And that will do everything you need. And that'll probably get you to a spot to have some money to then maybe invest in SEO with another agency or with a company. But right now, if you're at that spot where you're like, I don't have the money, those 3 things put you in the right direction.
Fantastic.
Great.
What else, Jack? Any other questions, or else we can transition?
Yeah, we still have a few more. So maybe we'll do. You want to do one or 2 more, James, or just keep it going?
Let's do 2 more. And if we didn't get to it, we'll be sure to get questions to Travis to get back to you guys. So don't worry. So yeah, let's do 2 more.
Okay. All right, great. Next one, I think you touched on this a little bit, Travis. Maybe you can expand. Are backlinks still a factor in SEO?
Yes, they are a factor. But again, they're a factor for the purpose of building the authority, right? If you're nobody on Google and Google has no way of knowing who you are, backlinks is like having that friend who's like really popular, and now you're with that friend. And so you become popular, same thing. You're nobody with Google. Backlinks are still a valuable item in the ranking process. But backlinks are there's a very big array of how backlinks show up. And when you are posting on your Google Business Profile and you're linking to your website, you're posting on Facebook with a link to your website, those are all going to help you. So one of the easiest ways I tell people if they're concerned about backlinks, the best things you can do for backlinks is get on local directories. Go get on TikTok, go get on Yelp, go get on Thumbtack, go get on Foursquare, go get on Yellow Pages. Get your company profiles on these directories. That will create very powerful backlinks that will help boost your local presence. And for anybody too, if you have other questions, you're like, I really want to kind of dive in more, I have questions that aren't getting answered. If you just go on Instagram and Google, or don't Google, you go on Instagram and you type in Rotate Digital, it's a really great way to get to me and my team. And you throw those questions at us on like a DM, and we'll be happy to answer those as well if you don't get your question answered today.
Great, thanks, Travis. Okay, last one. Another one I think you touched on a little bit. Maybe you can expand. Keywords? Or I'm trying to reword this in a way. What about keywords research? I think that's basically asking, are keywords still relevant or part of the strategy?
Yeah, keywords are still relevant and part of the strategy. They just changed, right? 3 years ago, you could be a little bit more like, you could write it, you could on your homepage, you could say Movers Chicago like 17 times, and that was okay. Like, it was like, that's the keyword I'm trying to rank for. That's no longer the case. It needs to have a good experience. So if your experience on your content online, if it doesn't like flow like a normal human being would read it, then you're not going to do well. So yes, you need keyword research. What keywords to go after? Super simple. If you don't want to pay an SEO company, movers near me, moving companies near me, long distance movers. Those are all sales relevant keywords that you want to have on your website. You just don't want to be keyword stuffing them. You want to just write it. You want on your homepage, go to your homepage, write normal words and bring up movers and moving companies. It's way more sophisticated. And so yes, like our team does keyword research. Do you as a business owner need to do keyword research? I would argue no. You need to focus on getting reviews, getting photography, getting good website. The relevancy that you're a moving company in the eyes of Google will come naturally without you having to do keyword research.
Okay, Jack, we will definitely follow up with everybody with additional questions. Make sure they get those answered. So I think, Jack, you're making me a presenter right now.
Yes, sir.
And we're going to transition a little bit here. So we take the first part of the session to fully educational. Travis, thank you for walking us through that. Do question and answer, and we get a lot of requests. Hey, James, let me see the technology that you guys have as well. And it will also dovetail exactly to what we talked about today with Travis in the lead capture section and some of the video. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And Travis, you let me know when you can see it so I can get going. Come up. Great. So this is LiveSwitch. LiveSwitch Contact is the product I'm going to show you today. This is what our movers are using to do a number of different things. One, to do the video and virtual estimates. Two, to capture those videos. And three, to do the lead capture. And I'm even going to show you a website of a moving company that's using our lead capture technology, which Travis mentioned in his presentation today. So step one, you can log into LiveSwitch from anything, from your PC, your Mac, your iPhone, your Android. We're device agnostic. We do not care what you're using. And you can go ahead and text any number in the US. We have folks that do international. We had a question today about international national moves, long distance moves. You can put any number in globally. I'm going to put in my own number here. You put in the customer name. That way you can find them later. And then you have a company message, which you can tweak to whatever you want. And we record automatically. If maybe you're doing a very sensitive move, like a military move, and they're asking you cannot record, you can turn that off. 99% of the time, they do not mind. So what's going to happen is when I hit the send text button, I am going to get a text on my cell phone, which is coming in right now, and on my computer. So I'm going to act as the moving company and the customer. It's not ideal, but you guys will get what I'm saying. So I'm ready to receive the person who I'm going to be prospecting to. Maybe they come in from all the great lead capture since you've done all the things that Travis recommended. I'm clicking, I got my text, I click the text, it's coming up, I hit allow the camera, and what's going to happen is I'm going to show up on the computer here. So now you can see me, you can talk to the customer through the phone, which is right here. You can see everything we're using. And then I can take pictures remotely. So if I want to take a picture of this, if I want to switch my camera, if I'm the customer and I'm walking, hey, walk me around the house, show me all the stuff you've got, great. And I can take pictures of the TV there, as an example, remotely while I'm recording, okay? And there's no software for the prospect to download, right? So they're not gonna get lost or confused. Oh, hey, I've gotta go find my passwords. No, they get the text in, they click the link, and boom, we are live, and I am meeting my customer where they're at. That is the first way that folks are using it, that instant connect. Everything goes up into the cloud, all the pictures I took, all the videos that I have taken. We have a video Dropbox feature. Maybe the customer's not at the location. Maybe they're not at the home. Maybe they're in the office. They call up, hey, you know, can you move me from, you know, Tampa to Raleigh, Durham? Great, no problem. I'm in the office right now. No worries. You can text the person when they get home. They can click that text and walk around the house and give you that video. And the third way is a way that really dovetails nicely into what Travis shared with us today. This is one of our customers, HHG Movers in Georgia, and you see the lead capture. This is something that comes with the LiveSwitch contact account. You can put in your branding, any of the wording that you'd like, and when the customer comes in to put their name in, phone number, email, hey, I'm moving from Tampa to Raleigh, they click this recording link, and also you're gonna get a video. You're gonna get the lead capture and a video. So when your sales team calls back or when you call back to give them that, you'll already have looked through things. And if they miss something, you can use the video Dropbox, and it all goes centrally. So if you have multiple salespeople, multiple assets, it's all coming right in to your cloud and to your account. And this is where you can see the video. These are the pictures I just took, the video that I just took, but you guys will get one. And I can, if I miss something, let's say I missed that picture, I can take a picture while I'm watching the video, and I can share this. I can download it. I can even use it on my YouTube or put it right on my website. Here's what a move will be like. Here's what a virtual estimate will be like. And everything starts showing up here. And you can put this right into your CRM if you're using one, and we save all that content. So that is LiveSwitch Contact. It's unlimited use. You can reach out to us. We'd be happy to take you through a personalized demo where you can see, feel, and touch this. But we want to stop there today. And again, thank you everybody for joining us. We do this monthly. We have different topics. We have some future topics coming up around how to run your moving company. We'll have other thought leaders like Travis. If you want to reach out to Travis, he's excellent in lead generation. Please reach out to him with your questions, comments, and I'm sure he'd be happy to connect with you as well. Thank you everyone for joining us today, and we look forward to the next time we have one of our webinars. Thank you.